If you're a huge fan of GTA San Andreas, you might know this police officer, Tenpenny. Personally, I really hate this guy, because from the very beginning, the way he treated CJ throughout the whole game makes it impossible for anyone to like him. But most of you think he was just a cop, and that's where you're wrong. Tenpenny was never just a cop. From the very start of the game, Tenpenny was always trying to kill or trap CJ and Sweet so that he could rule over Los Santos, because Tenpenny didn't see himself as law enforcement. He saw himself as the law. And here's the catch. From the beginning, Tenpenny was never actually trying to save Los Santos from drugs and crime, because through crime, he could become more powerful than you can even imagine. Instead of cleaning Los Santos of gangs and criminals, he started studying them so he could use them as weapons. For example, Ryder was a very angry person, and Tenpenny took advantage of that. And we all know what happened next. He did the same thing with Big Smoke because both of them wanted money and power. And Tenpenny always thought, who can be controlled with fear and who can be controlled with money? And because of this, Los Santos wasn't chaotic. Tenpenny builds a system where crime existed only because he allowed it. We also know that from the beginning, Tenpenny and his officers started arresting Grove Street families for no real reason. Even for small things, Grove Street members were arrested. On the other hand, the Ballas were ignored because they were working with Tenpenny, even dealing drugs and crack, since it directly made Tenpenny rich. At the same time, the police didn't stop what the Ballas were doing, even though they knew everything. Still, police patrols avoided Ballas' turf. By doing all this and building such a system, Grove Street became their main target, especially CJ and Sweet. Day by day, Grove Street became weaker and became an easier target. Because of the system Tenpenny created, the Ballas appeared to be a quiet gang, while Grove Street looked brutal and violent. This created an illusion in people's minds that Grove Street was the real bad gang, but the truth was the complete opposite. Tenpenny decided who to chase and who to protect, even if they were committing the biggest crimes. Tenpenny's main focus was crack, and he used it like a gun. But the truth is, he didn't need bullets to destroy neighborhoods. He started addicting people to crack and other drugs, and he used the Ballas to distribute crack freely, even right in front of the cops. Tenpenny made sure that the families stayed weak from the inside. Grove Street members stopped caring about the family and started running after drugs and crack. Crack was the slow poison that killed Grove Street without a single war. And here's the interesting part. Big Smoke was Tenpenny's biggest success. Ryder comes in second place, because both Tenpenny and Big Smoke wanted the same things: money, power, safety, and respect. And Tenpenny played very smart here. Instead of threatening Big Smoke like he did with CJ and Sweet, he protected him. That's why Big Smoke wasn't forced to betray Grove Street. He chose survival over loyalty. If you didn't know, Sweet's arrest was already planned. Because of Big Smoke and Ryder, Tenpenny knew everything about Grove Street. He realized that Sweet was the backbone of the family. If he removed or killed Sweet, the family would collapse instantly. But for some reason, he didn't want to kill Sweet. He just wanted to silence him. Because once Sweet was gone, the leadership and respect of the family disappeared. And here's where Tenpenny played his smartest move. He never needed loyal gang members or teammates. He only wanted respect. And to get that respect, he needed fear. Gangs, civilians, and even other cops began to fear him. This story feels very real because Rockstar didn't create a completely fictional character. Tenpenny was inspired by the 1990s LAPD corruption, the dirty cops, and broken neighborhoods. In the end, Tenpenny didn't want chaos. He wanted control. So if you liked this video, consider subscribing.